Hello friends, in this lecture we will see the work done by a impeller or a centrifugal pump. So this is what the work done by a centrifugal pump or the impeller. So before actually moving to the work done, we'll see one thing, that is the centrifugal pump or the impeller is the reverse of, it works in a reverse way of inward flow reaction turbine. Okay, so the pump or centrifugal pump works in a reverse way of the inward flow reaction turbine. Now in this case we can get the work done of a centrifugal pump or the impeller as a reverse of work done of a inward flow reaction turbine. So in the previous lectures already we have seen what is the work done on a runner per second per unit weight of inward flow reaction turbine. Okay, so I'll write that particular equation first. Okay, so the work done by water on runner per second per unit weight for inward flow reaction turbine is given as 1 by G VW1 U1 minus VW2 U2. Okay, now here G is the gravitational acceleration, VW1 is the whirl velocity at the inlet of turbine, U1 is the mean velocity at the inlet of turbine. Similarly, VW2 and U2 are the whirl velocity and mean velocity respectively at the outlet of the blade. Okay, now as I said earlier, the centrifugal pump works in a reverse way of a inward flow reaction turbine. So hence the work done by the impeller on water per second per unit weight of water striking is given by reverse, so that is what, minus the work done by inward flow reaction turbine. Okay, so reaction turbine, so this is what the minus, reverse is there, so hence I am using the minus sign. So hence I can write this as minus 1 by G VW1 U1 minus VW2 U2. Now here VW1 is what, the whirl velocity at the inlet of impeller, U1 is the mean velocity at the inlet of impeller, VW2 is the whirl velocity, U2 is the mean velocity at the outlet of impeller respectively. Okay, so I can write this work done equation as 1 by G VW2 U2 minus VW1 U1. Now for better efficiency, the water comes in to the impeller in a radial direction, so the inlet to the impeller is radial. As the inlet to the impeller is radial, VW1 becomes a 0. This becomes a 0. This is how this is becoming 0, we'll see with the velocity triangle. Okay, so we know this particular velocity triangle over here for the inlet. Okay, so as the inlet is radial, so V1 will become perpendicular to U1. Okay, so V1 will become perpendicular to U1. So as the V1 is becoming perpendicular to U1 for a radial entry, the VW1 becomes 0. Hence this equation will be further reduced to 1 minus G VW2 U2 only. Okay, so this is what the work done by the impeller per second per unit weight of water striking. Okay, so further this work done by impeller on water per second is given by W by G VW to U2, where W is weight of liquid, where W is equal to weight of liquid, and it is given by rho g q. Okay, rho into q is the mass, into g will give you the weight. Okay, q is what? The volume flow rate of a water. Okay, so q will be given by area into the flow velocity. Okay, so area, now this is what the impeller. So for impeller, the area will be at inlet, the area will be pi d1 b1. Okay, this is what the area into velocity, flow velocity is vf1 at the inlet. Okay, similarly I can write this q, whatever assuming that as there are no losses, whatever flow of liquid at the inlet, the same flow of liquid will be at the outlet. So pi d2 b2 into vf2. Now here d1 and b1, where d1 is nothing but what? The diameter at the inlet. So diameter of impeller at the inlet. And b1 and b2, b1 and b2 are the width of impeller, at inlet and outlet respectively, Okay, so this is what the work done we can get per second, work done by impeller on water per second. Now we will see what is the velocity triangle for the impeller. Okay, so this is what the velocity triangle at inlet and outlet for the impeller. As we discussed earlier, the inlet to the impeller is the radial. Okay, so you can see over here, this particular V1 is equal to VR1. V1 will be equal to VR1. Okay, which is perpendicular to the U1. Okay, so this is what the inlet velocity triangle. This particular triangle is nothing but the inlet. So suffix 1 represent the inlet point, suffix 2 represent the outlet point. Now R1 and R2 are the radius of impeller. R1 and R2 are the radius of impeller. Okay, so this is the theta is what the angle made by the relative velocity with u. Okay, with the mean velocity. Now at the outlet, you can see the relative velocity, then flow velocity, and then the absolute velocity v2. Okay, so this particular length is vw2, that is the work velocity at outlet. This entire length is equal to u2, that is the mean velocity. So u1 is given by pi d1n by 60, and u2 is given by pi d2n divided by 60. Okay, so this is what the velocity triangle for the impeller at inlet and outlet. Now previously we have seen the work done, the area of a impeller as pi d1 b1. So this is what the assume that this is the impeller. Okay, this is what the impeller having the width, this is what the width, having this what the width. Having this the width, assume that this is the width. Okay, so this width is nothing but b. Okay, this is what the let's say inlet diameter d1. Okay, this is the inlet diameter d1. Then if I cut it and open it, I'll get the rectangle over here. Assume that if I cut it over here and open it entirely, because the water is flowing something like this. Okay, water is flowing something like this. Okay, so I'll be having this length as pi d1. Okay, that is the circumference, and the width is b1. Okay, so similarly you'll get the area at outlet as well. Okay, so this is what the work done and the velocity triangle for the centrifugal pump we have seen. Thank you.